Joshua Ewert. Joshua's graduating with a 3-year Bachelor of Arts in Business and Organizational Administration.
Greetings. It's time to get down to business. My name is Joshua Ewert, and I am graduating this year with a 3-year Bachelor of Arts with a major in Business and Organizational Administration. I chose CMU as the launching point for my post-secondary studies, almost by default. I grew up attending Charleswood Mennonite Church and attended Mennonite schools from kindergarten through grade 12. Canadian Mennonite University seemed like an obvious choice, but I will admit I was enticed by the opportunity I was given to play varsity-level sports and participate in other extracurricular activities offered at CMU. At no other institute in Manitoba would I have been able to play volleyball, hockey, sing in choir, and enjoy other aspects of campus life while pursuing an academic degree with AUCC credibility. The remarkable community is one of the most critical aspects of Canadian Mennonite University, and I can only emphasize it even more. The opportunities for me to participate in a wide range of university life brought me to CMU in the first place, but the community is what brought me back year after year. Whenever I am asked what my area of study is, most people automatically assume I would be studying business at the U of M's Asper School of Business. Often these inquirers are surprised that CMU offers a business program, if they even know what CMU is. Business as a major is just in its infancy, only now completing its 3rd full year. As such, I have been able to watch its growth firsthand, including the recent addition of a 4-year degree and now co-op program. I realize that comparing it to University of Manitoba or even University of Winnipeg's programs would be a gross mismatch and a comparison I cannot properly make, given that I have never studied at those institutions. Nonetheless, there are aspects of the program here at CMU that are unique, and in my opinion, give it an advantage over the others. For those of you who are unfamiliar with studies at CMU, each degree has its core requirements and electives, as well as a requirement for biblical and theological studies. To be honest, these biblical studies seemed like a chore to me in my early years, and an annoying hurdle before a degree could be attained. However, as I matured into the student I am today, I soon found that these courses added a whole facet to the degree unparalleled at other institutions. Working towards the degree, only collecting the necessary courses would have been like living life in one dimension. Taking biblical and theological studies allowed me to more fully analyze what I was being taught in the business faculty, as well as to add to the discussion in my BTS and other courses. For example, I recently wrote a paper this past semester for my Biblical and Theological Studies course, Theology of Peace and Justice, entitled Study on a Business Ethic Rooted in Ecclesiology. My paper was based on a dissertation by Werner Franz, a former CMU student, and investigates John Howard Yoder's five practices describing the social character of the church, found in his book, Body Politics. The paper then bridges the gap from theology to implementation in a business setting. To give a taste of what I learned, I will briefly describe Yoder's 5 practices and the implications they have for doing business. The first practice is known as the rule of Christ, which refers to binding and loosing, that is, discipline within the church. It corresponds to decision-making, accountability, and restoring dialogue, and concretely, this practice can be seen through openness and trust in the workplace, as well as the church. The second practice is known as the Lord's Supper, which in essence refers to economic sharing and sacrifice, so that others' lives may be bettered. Concretely, this practice can be partaken in through profit sharing and charitable works, among other things. The third practice is baptism. Through the ancient ritual of sprinkling or submersion, believers are inducted into a new humanity, one community without barriers. In a business setting, this can be embodied by practicing identity building and breaking down barriers, finding worth in someone beyond simply what that person adds to the bottom line. Fourth, the practice of the fullness of Christ speaks to the empowerment of the people in a community. It recognizes that all members of the body of Christ are unique in their abilities, all of whom must contribute to the proper working of the community. Translated to the business setting, this means that organizations must recognize that every person is a dignified human with something to give, and as such deserves to receive a just wage in return. Finally, the practice of the rule of Paul speaks to the Spirit's freedom in the meeting, where uncoerced decisions may be made out of open conversation rather than a hierarchical or democratic process. In concrete practice, the rule of Paul can be applied through participatory decision-making. By employing these practices, Christians and business people in particular can live out an ethic of Jesus in all aspects of their lives, becoming virtuous people formed by the church community. What I hope to have shown here is that the business program at CMU provides an environment for studying that fosters Christian ideals and new ways of thinking so much more than could be found at other business schools. Furthermore, it is not just the BTS courses that add this perspective. For example, in my entrepreneurship class this past semester, each member of the class created a business plan focusing on a not-for-profit or socially responsible company, for which I chose to research Mennonite Central Committee's 10,000 Villages stores. My speech can't be complete without acknowledging the family and friends who have supported me on this journey, especially my parents who have put up with my obsessive study habits and grounded me when my ambitions got a little too lofty. This community that surrounds me is what keeps me sane and makes life worth living. I will look back on the experiences that Canadian Mennonite University has given me, from in the classroom to my practicum, to choir tours, and on the court or ice, in gratitude, as I go out into the world, having grown in innumerable ways from the opportunity I was given to attend CMU.